Intussusception occurs when a segment of the intestine folds into an adjacent section, much like a telescope collapsing. This typically involves the small bowel, though the large bowel is affected in rare cases. The segment that prolapses is called the Intussusceptum, while the receiving segment is termed the Intussuscipiens. This folding disrupts normal bowel function and can lead to obstruction. This condition appears more often in children than in adults. Among children, males are affected at a ratio of 3:1 compared to females. The peak incidence occurs between 6 and 18 months of age, a critical period for pediatric providers to note. In contrast, intussusception accounts for only 1% of bowel obstructions in adults, highlighting its relative rarity in that population. In children, the cause remains unknown in 90% of cases. Possible contributing factors include infections, anatomical variations, or changes in intestinal motility. In adults, however, a specific lead point, such as a tumor or cancer, often triggers the condition. This distinction guides our diagnostic and management approach depending on the patient's age. Certain conditions increase the likelihood of intussusception. In children, these include infections, cystic fibrosis, and intestinal polyps. For adults, risk factors shift to endometriosis, bowel adhesions, and intestinal tumors. Recognizing these associations helps us identify at-risk patients during assessments. Patients typically present with intermittent abdominal pain, a hallmark of this condition. Vomiting often occurs and may contain bile, signaling a more advanced obstruction. Bloody stool, sometimes described as resembling red currant jelly, is another key sign. On examination, a sausage-shaped mass may be palpable in the abdomen. Additionally, the dance sign, retraction of the right lower quadrant, can offer a diagnostic clue. These features demand swift recognition in clinical settings. For diagnosis, ultrasound is the preferred method in children, revealing a target or donut sign indicative of intussusception. In adults, computed tomography or CT scans take precedence due to their ability to identify underlying causes. Abdominal X-rays assist in confirming intestinal obstruction, while an air enema serves a dual role. It aids diagnosis and, in some cases, provides treatment. These tools form the backbone of our diagnostic strategy. Non-surgical reduction. Non-surgical management involves enemas using barium, water-soluble contrast, or air. This approach achieves a success rate exceeding 80% in children. However, recurrence remains a concern, with up to 10% of cases reoccurring within 24 hours. This statistic underscores the need for close follow-up after initial treatment. Surgical intervention. When non-surgical methods fail, surgery becomes necessary. Manual reduction of the intussusception is the first step. If this proves unsuccessful, bowel resection may be required to remove the affected segment. Laparoscopic reduction offers a less invasive option in suitable cases. Each technique requires careful consideration of the patient's condition and surgical expertise. Complications can arise if treatment is delayed. Bowel ischemia and necrosis pose significant risks, as does perforation leading to peritonitis. Short bowel syndrome, though rare, can occur following extensive resection. Another uncommon issue is postoperative intussusception, which may follow various surgeries. These possibilities emphasize the importance of timely intervention. The outlook is excellent when treatment occurs promptly. If left untreated, however, intussusception can become fatal within 2 to 5 days. Prolonged cases increase the risk of bowel ischemia and necrosis, reinforcing the need for rapid diagnosis and management. Our goal is to act decisively to prevent such outcomes. Unlike children, air contrast enemas are not used for treatment in adults, due to the frequent presence of an organic lesion as the lead point. Differential diagnoses, such as acute gastroenteritis or rectal prolapse, must also be considered. A rare variant, pyloroduodenojunal intussusception, appears more often in adults. By understanding its mechanisms, epidemiology, and management options, we can improve patient outcomes effectively in pediatric intussusceptions.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel by clicking the subscription button. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below in the comments section.